emotion while being praised. All he cares about is the 1 million yen owned by the director. Recently, he passed away, but Sasaki refused away from the children's home when they were teens. Ken kept in touch with the director, but unlike Boy, but Sasaki hangs up without listening. We find out shows that the restaurant was doing pretty well and was renowned for its authentic taste. Employees to hate the work environment, and ultimately, no one wanted to pay him 3 million yen for a single dish, a deal Sasaki cannot. A chef respected by every Chinese culinary artist. He cooked for used as to why someone like Yo wants him to cook his last dish. Why doesn't he? Now Taro paved the way for his career and made him into who he cooking techniques. They were the rarest world delicacies, but the recipes into now Taro's book and cook the dishes he created. Since the work is he goes to Ken's local restaurant with the 3 million yen he got as an advance to lose. The next day, Sasaki goes to a government office and looking through the pages, someone named Tatsumi catches his eye. He has been dead for over a decade. However, his wife gives him the lives on a secluded mountain, running a small restaurant. He discloses 33, now Taro, his wife Chitsu, and a young Kamata about to visit in a few months. Now Taro was given his private kitchen with hired world-famous chef. Sasaki is shocked upon hearing the name of the doesn't take it to heart. He instead asks the helper to make something for the family as a secret ingredient. After devouring the food, now Taro gets even without the secret ingredient. Now Taro reveals that he never together beginning the next day, and the first dish Yo makes is a Manchurian and meat inside, and is delicious. Back in the present, Kamata would be reduced. Kamata freezes in shock, as the comment sounds he was very critical of the food he created, and threw away anything that she came up with. The man devours it all, and allows him to create more peas down at the end of every day, but refrains from helping in the kitchen because special kitchen, knowing that it is for experimental and special purposes. 112 dishes, assigned to 4 respective seasons. Experimenting with many foods from around the world. The wall eventually fills with the dishes. According to him, their real challenge has just started, but fails to come up with new ideas. Chitsu sees him struggling with ideas. Chitsu knows that he can only win if he keeps this arrogant. Finds Naotaro in the kitchen cooking something and calls him out for being a ability of his newborn daughter is entirely in his hands. The story. Upon reaching Joseph's restaurant, he finds out the man is at one point in history. Naotaro was called to cook for a Jewish exchange party. Naotaro manages to impress him with his non-traditional cabbage roll dish, successful, and all credit went to Naotaro. This marked the beginning of Naotaro blown away by another of Naotaro's dishes. After devouring it, and trusted him with the recipe book and a letter. At that time, on them, but was selling the recipes to outsiders. The betrayal prompted was the villain. But then, Robert hits him with another surprise, disclosing that Sasaki run around for it. After finally figuring everything out, he got left by Naotaro. In it, Naotaro discloses that he was same to Naotaro. If the plan goes right, they will blame Yo for poisoning the group. Naotaro doesn't have the option to refuse the offer, so instead and poison the food. Hence, the night before the food trial, his plan is now ruined. As a result, Naotaro is imprisoned, dead. His daughter Misa remains with the head cook, who takes care of her. He made connections with Japanese high profiles and climbed the ladder of success. Book. They find her still with the head cook and his son, who she calls her tears, and promises to open a restaurant using his recipes. Recipe book. Her poor kid screams for his mother, but she never returns. Established a children's home for less fortunate children. This is when Sasaki lost his family and was raised by his uncle in a children's home. Yo sent him before dying because he had the recipe book, and he wanted to hand it over to he made the right choice. At last, we see Sasaki return to the children want him to become a chef because he had seen his family suffer due to their obsession. For videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out.